Hey guys, project-zodiac here. I'm back with another unboxing video. This is obviously another vinyl unboxing. I've been doing a lot of those, I'm sorry. But for me, this is very, 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 very special. And I know I say that a lot in almost all of my unboxings, but this is very special to me, extremely special to me. I'll explain why in a little bit. Real quick, short disclaimer, for the past month I've been basically coughing a lot. Thankfully the past week and this week it's been a lot better, but that's why I haven't been able to do any reviews or longer videos, just because I was literally coughing nonstop. I couldn't even really sleep. So not sick, it was just a cough, thankfully. And yeah, so I'm gonna have to take some pauses, and that's why my voice is a lot deeper and raspier right now, is because it's still recovering. Um, so if I say I'm sorry, excuse me, and I, just pause the video real quick, you guys understand why. And if I cough on the video, I don't know where I'm sorry. But it's pretty much in control today. So with that disclaimer out of the way, I've been looking forward to this for so long, and I have a lot to say. I'm gonna save that for the end, so that if you guys want to listen to me talk. Um, but this is one of my all-time favorite albums. Literally, like, in general, one of my all-time favorite albums. I've listened to this album so many times, and it's just something that just means so much to me, literally so much to me. Um, and honestly, when Daft Punk retired in 2021, I was sad. And, and I'll explain about all of that towards the end. But when they announced the 10th anniversary set for Random Access Memories, I was so excited, so happy, because this is a celebration of one of my all-time favorite albums. And when I think about it like this, like, this is honestly, okay, I was gonna say this is like the first time a band I love is doing a celebration of an album that I love, but that is not true. So forget what I was going to say. But I think that this is the first time that it's been so impactful for me, because of how much this resonates with me. And I'm trying to think, like, I know that Ben Howard did a 10th anniversary for his first album, Every Kingdom. I didn't get a copy of that, but the only difference with that is that it was a colored vinyl disc. I have just a regular album for it, the regular black vinyl disc. And while that would have been perfect, since the album artwork is, him diving underwater, there was nothing extra with it. So I decided not to pick that up. But with Random Access Memories, other than this package being different, as in the sense, like, it's not the silver and gold robot helmets, it's the robot helmets that is now crystallized. They actually have extra things here, and that is why I picked this up. I already own this album on CD, on vinyl, and I actually have it twice on vinyl, because I bought it the regular version on vinyl, but I also have the deluxe box set, the big thing, and that I'll save that towards the end. But yes, I do have that, and I don't have it here with me right now, unfortunately. It's somewhere else, but I do have it. So now this is the third time that I own this album on vinyl, but this is a special occasion. Mostly just because of the new things that it comes with. And, I've talked enough, it's been 5 minutes. Some of you guys just want me to get to the unboxing itself already, so I'm gonna save a lot of things I have to say towards the end. But yeah, let's just get into this. I did buy the CD as well, because I do own all the Daft Punk CDs, all the Daft Punk albums on CD as well as on vinyl. So I'm like, well, I can't just get this and not get the CD as well, since I already own all of them. So let's just go with the CD first. So we've got, the new helmets, random access memories, the 10th anniversary expanded edition, Daft Punk. Includes 9 unreleased outtakes across 2 CDs. And then we've got all the writings, which is pretty cool. So again, I'm trying to hold back on a lot of things I want to say, just till the end. All right. We've got this beautiful synthesizer, which I never understood why it's upside down. If anyone knows why they decided to print this upside down, please tell me, because I'm still so confused why it's not like this. So yeah, even on the vinyl it's like that. So we've got disc 1, which has the bass album. And then we got disc 2. Ooh, we got a little poster. I know that there's a poster with the vinyl. I just forgot that there's a poster with the CD as well. It's the same poster. Wait, no. I don't think the CD comes with a poster. It is just a vinyl. Okay. So we've got some new things, and this is the first time worldwide that we get Horizon, and it's also the first time in general, like outside of Japan, sorry, because Horizon was exclusive to the Japanese CD of the original album. But and I'm talking about track number 2, not the first one. That first one is a brand new song. But yeah, so this is the first time outside of Japan that Horizon is available to people. I mean, it's always been online on YouTube, but on streaming services and on like the CD, you had to import it. And it wasn't on streaming services. It was just on YouTube that people ripped from the disc and uploaded it. And Horizon's such a beautiful song. But now we finally have it in worldwide, and it's also the first time literally worldwide, because it wasn't available in Japan on the vinyl. So let's just quickly go through the booklet here. We've got Gimon's helmet, random access memories. They kind of do it as if it's like a movie, and it should be presented like a movie, because this album is super cinematic. It's super atmospheric. And see, again, I don't know why they posted this picture upside down. It's always annoyed me. But yeah, so I guess they did not put any lyrics for the new songs, which is really interesting. So produced by Thomas Wengleter and Guy Manuel de Olme Cristo, which is amazing. Okay, and then we got Thomas's helmet. So that's a little booklet. Again, for me, this is amazing to have, and Daft Punk are one of my all-time favorite musicians. This album in general, like I said, just means a lot to me. And now we got the big thing. This is heavy. I'm not lying. It's 380 gram vinyl discs. So 10th anniversary expanded edition Daft Punk includes 9 unreleased outtakes on 3 180 gram vinyl posters and a poster. I don't really understand. I feel like 180 grams can sometimes be like false advertising, because I get some records that say they're 180 grams and they feel heavier than regular vinyl, but they don't feel like as heavy as some other 180 grams that I have, which is really interesting. But this definitely feels like they're 180 grams because they're pretty heavy. Also, I love that, this crystal, I'm so excited, that this crystal artwork. It looks so much better without the wrapping on it. Um, the crystal helmets, for me, it's almost like it's just translucent rather than crystal. And honest, oh no, I just realized there's like a little bit of a dent here. And for me, I always saw this helmet as if it's like their spirit, like the whole artwork for this is amazing because it's like Daft Punk, the robots, retired. And it's like, like they came back as a spirit to give us this you know not well, it is reworked. I think the sound system is a lot different. I think it's got spatial audio now, Adobe spatial audio. I think I don't know about audio text or anything like that, but that's definitely been reworked for sure. I do know that. But so it's like them as Ghost came and reworked this and then said, you know what, let's just give them a little bit extra stuff. And it's just amazing. So that's how I see this, as like them as ghosts, as spirits. And I just love this huge long track list. I remember, in 2013, when the album released, even before then, like all the promotional stuff and like falling in love with Get Lucky, and just seeing the track listing, and I was just like how they appeared with this cursive writing. It just felt so retro but so futuristic at the same time, and I don't know. It just captivated me in so many ways, and it still does. Like the promotion for this was so beautiful, and it fits everything. I know that this is very reminiscent of Michael Jackson's Thriller album, and they have said that a lot, like the writing. But I don't know, this just had such a big impact. More than that, and like just seeing Random Access Memories appearing, as Get Lucky, like the instrumentation of it plays, it was just so good. I still remember seeing that and just being amazed by it. So yeah, I'm just I don't know. I'm just so excited. This every time I hear this album, it's like I'm hearing it for the first time again. It's just so amazing. But all right, let's open this up. And again, like I said, the synthesizer is upside down. So let's take a look at the poster first. And this is a poster. Okay, I guess this is not the poster. This is basically the same thing we just went over with the booklet. So yeah, pretty cool. And now let's see. Okay, I think I feel the poster now. And this is a poster that was sold as merch on their website when Random Access Memories was available. And I always wanted this poster, like always wanted this poster, but I never bought it, and it always sold out. And I was thinking about buying it as like, a fake copy of it for cheap. But yeah, this poster is amazing. The Lose Yourself to Dance poster. Just seeing it in person now, it's even better than the pictures make it out to be. It's just so beautiful. Got Iman there, and Thomas over here, and then got Pharrell Williams, which you guys can't see, but there he is right there. Now Rogers, and then the new single from Daft Punk. This poster is big. People were saying that it's smaller than the original poster, but like this thing is already huge. So I kind of like wonder how big exactly was the original, because this is massive. But anyway, I just thank God that I finally have this poster that I always wanted. This is so cool. I just love this so much. For those of you that don't know, for the 1 year celebration, so last year of Daft Punk's retirement, I made like a science fiction biography on Daft Punk. It incorporates real things like their whole history, but I also did some creative writing into it, which I love to do, and added into that to kind of like create a mythology of the Daft Punk robots. So please watch that. Like the intro for that, I loved how the intro for it came out. I do think that my audio recording could have been a lot better, but still, I really, really liked how that video came out in the end. So yes, please watch that, and I'll link to it in the description below as well. But I'm just so grateful to finally have this poster, and it's pretty thick and heavy too. It's a lot heavier than I thought it was gonna be, and it's actually really good quality, so that's pretty good. So here we have disc 1. I wish that the disc was colored, but it's not, so it's fine. Kind of still gives it that retro vibe to it, even though it's not colored, so I don't mind that it is. Sorry, that it's not. So we've got side 1. And then we've got side 2. And I'll be listening to this tomorrow. And like I've listened to this album so many. Oh, come on. So I'm disappointed about this though. This is my biggest complaint. It's just paper. They could have given something better for the sleeve, but I've listened to this album so many times. I really, really do love this album. All of the songs on it is fantastic. Touch does creep me out. Like every time I hear Touch, that intro, it just creeps me out. And I remember hearing it the first time, and I was just like, what is this? Because it's unsettling. I did not like it. And then like it just goes and becomes that beautiful, majestic thing that it is. And I'm just like, what just happened? So every time I listen to Touch, it's that same experience. Every time I listen to Jojo Moroder, it's the same experience. Like I really remember listening to the album in full for the first time, but for some reason the Touch one is what I remember the most, and just being so freaked out with it. But yeah, I just love it. And Get Lucky is one of my all-time favorite songs, and I'm not exaggerating when I say I went 1 year listening to Get Lucky so many times, almost every single day. Like my friends would always like if they looked at me, they're like, oh yeah, he's probably listening to Get Lucky. And I still listen to that song pretty often, every now and then actually, but I still love that song so much. So here we have the second disc. Side 3, then side 4. And now we got the new third disc, which is basically like an EP. Got side 5, and then we've got side 6. So guys, this is amazing. I would listen to it today in full. I mean, I've been listening to it already, but not on vinyl. And listening to this album in full with these new songs, it just makes the album even better. What I wanted to say is, so I have a bunch of things to do today, so I actually am going to listen to another album once I'm done with this, but then I have a bunch of things to take care of, so I'll be listening to this tomorrow in full on vinyl, and I'm so happy. But let me know what you guys think about this. I'm still going to go on a rant, so just if you guys want to listen to me talk about this album and some memories from it and things like that. Just stick around. But for those of you that are going to be signing off, thank you guys for watching, and let me know your favorite Daft Punk album. What do you think about these bonus songs? And yeah, just tell me your memories, like your memories with Random Access Memories. So now that that's out of the way, let's go into my random access memories about this album and things that I wanted to talk about. I remember when the album was announced, I was about 15, I think, 16. Yeah, between 15 and 16. And, how can I say this? I remember being announced and just falling in love with the songs and everything, because I grew up listening to Daft Punk, and this just was amazing. And at the same time, I was just so excited for what was going to come next after it. And I do remember, what, if Random Access Memories is their last album, I'm okay with it, because it's, for me, like a perfect album. It's so good. And and that ended up being the case. But again, it's a perfect album, so I can't complain. At least they went out with a perfect album. And I remember seeing all of the ads, and I remember going on their website so much, and all of the merch that they would be putting there. I wasn't really working, so I couldn't really get any of the merch, like the poster. And I couldn't really buy the album. And a lot of people talk about, like, oh, what was the first album you bought, and like they remember like going buying their first album. I can't really say that this was the first album I bought, because I do remember like asking for a few albums here and there when I was little, from like movies or something like that, and being gifted things like that. Um, so I don't really remember what my first like album that I bought really was, but I can say that this was the one that I really wanted to go out and buy as quickly as possible. Um, and I wasn't really working at that time. I hadn't received my job just yet, and or maybe I was, but I didn't have enough money to be spending things, because it was like $8 an hour. And I wanted to, just buy food and video games and things like that. So I ended up remembering that my mom, where she used to work at the time, ironically, it was actually the high school I was going to. She was working in the cafeteria. She didn't stay there too long. I think she stayed there maybe about a year, maybe like about a year, and then she went and worked somewhere else. But yeah, I think she stayed there about a year, maybe a year and a few months. But they had these promotional things for some of the employees there, and I don't really remember how it worked out, like what they had to do. But some of the words that they could have used, my mom was like, "Oh, what do you want from here? Take a look." And I was so happy, like so happy, because she ordered a couple of things for herself. But there was two things there that I always had wanted. One was The Legend of Zelda Hyrule Historia, and I couldn't afford that, and they had it there. And then the other thing that they had was Random Access Memories on CD. So I ordered that. I asked my mom to get me those two things, because it was the only things I was interested in. Then, she got whatever else she wanted there. So I remember me getting it, and I was just so happy. I remember the big box came with all the things, and me just getting the book and then the album, and I was just so excited. So that's how I got that album, and it was just a fantastic. I don't think I listened to it on the CD. I think I just listened to it online, but I probably played the CD. No, I definitely have played the CD once, a few times because my first car didn't have a USB port, or not USB, an aux port, so I couldn't listen to it on my MP3 player. And because that's how I listen to music. I listen to music on a Zune HD. Ever since the Zune HD came out, I've had it. Um, and yeah, so I that was before I bought like this thing that allowed me to like hack the radio signals, which then connected to via an aux cord to my MP3, and then I could play my MP3 musics on my car. But so it was before that, so I had to just get some CDs, and since I had that, I played it a lot. Um, and that was when I didn't get my car until much later because I didn't get my license until much later. But with that said, I remember seeing the deluxe box set, and I'm like, I really wish I had a vinyl. Like that was one of the things that really made me want to get a record player. It's so that I could get this collector, like the box set for it. And when I got my record player in 2019, that was literally one of the first things I ordered. It wasn't the first thing though, but it was one of the first things I ordered. Um, and it came and I was so excited. Like this was a huge dream come true. Like I had worked enough and saved for it, and because that thing was expensive, it was like $300. Um, and I bought it from the store, like Daft Punk's merch store. So that was like the first like big Daft Punk merch that I bought from their store. I wouldn't really call it a merch because it's not like a collectible. Well, it's a collectible, but you know what I mean. It's not like it's a poster or something like that, or a shirt, or things like that. But I was just so excited to finally own that, and I thank God so much for that because that was something I had been dreaming of for so many years since I was 15, and this was just a few years ago when I got it in the summer of 2019, and I really thank God for that. And um, I am even more amazed about it, and I thank God even more about it that I got it when I did, because a few months later, like probably within the next like 5 6 months, it got sold out on the store. You couldn't buy it anymore. So I guess I got one of the last few batches of it. And so again, I really thank God, because now that set goes for like $2,000 from what I saw from some scalpers. Um, but yes, I just love that set a lot. Again, I wish I had it here to show it to you guys, but it's not here at the moment, so I'm sorry. But with that said, when I kept waiting for new music, and unfortunately, they released a few productions here and there. You got Starboy, I Feel It Coming. They worked on Gust of Wind with Pharrell Williams. So we had a few extra like Daft Punk songs here and there, but not a Daft Punk only like original kind of thing. It was collaborations on other people's stuff. And then I even remember real quick for the Grammys. I remember I don't care about the Grammys. Like if an artist I like wins an award, and I'm super happy for them, but I'm not going to be tuning in to watch it. But I tuned in for like that part just to watch Daft Punk, and really hoping that they would win the album of the year, and they won so many awards for that Grammy. And when they won album of the year, I was so excited, like just so excited. And it was right after too they played the live version of Get Lucky, because one of my dreams has always been to watch Daft Punk play live, and I guess that was like the closest thing, other than watching pre-record like footage online, but like live as in like happening at the moment. That was like the closest thing because it was live, but I wasn't there in person, and I was just amazed by it. And I still hope in time maybe Thomas and Guy-Man will decide to do a Daft Punk like just tour, not necessarily new music, just tour. I think that would be nice. I still have hope. but yeah, I just remember seeing that and like that's the best version of Get Lucky. And I remember every single version of Get Lucky that they released. I'm just like, how is this better than the previous version? Because there was the radio edit, which was like 4 minutes, and then you had the album edit, which is like 6 minutes, and there's like some slight differences here and there with it, and it's just better. And then you had the 10-minute long remix, which I loved. And I'm just like, this has to be how you listen to Get Lucky now. But then you got the Grammy version, and with all of those other musicians and the samples and all those things, it was literally like watching a live 2007, like for the first time, or not even for the first time, because again, the first time I saw live 2007, like footage of like the whole concert on YouTube, it like changed my like it blew my mind, and it like changed me, that kind of like thing, you know. I was just, it's so amazing. But in terms of watching Get Lucky be played live, it was like that kind of experience, you know, and I'm just like so amazed by it. And the sampling that they were doing, the live instrumentation, the the mashup of songs, like everything was so good. And just the stage this design as well that they did, it was amazing. And it was just so good. I just love that performance. Not even, and then you know they win the award, and I was just so happy. And then after the Grammys, like I remember going in my mom's room, and I'm like, Mom, look. And I was showing it to her because I was just so happy that they won. They definitely deserve it. Um, and I even showed her like the live version of Get Lucky, and like it was one of those things where it's like I don't know those people that's there, but then mom was like, "Oh wow, look, he's here, he's here, he's here." I'm like, "You know these musicians?" Um, and sorry, try not to cough. And then I just find it ironic because like again, I was watching most of it live. I don't think I saw the whole thing live, but then they like even my mom was shocked that like when Daft Punk were playing Get Lucky, the entire crowd was dancing and moving. And some of the other songs that were played live by the other musicians, not a lot of people were. It was kind of stiff. But then when Daft Punk came and started playing Get Lucky, literally everyone just you know enjoyed it so much. And that's even when my mom was, you know, and then she was showing it to the boyfriend she was with at the time because he was there too. And even he was like, "Oh, I know this musician, I know this musician." And they're just like having so much fun watching Daft Punk playing live and watching these musicians that they love reacting to Daft Punk. And these musicians are older than Daft Punk, so it's kind of like a generation kind of thing where something like where everybody, it doesn't matter how old you are so invested in this music. And that's kind of like what their aim with Random Access Memories was, in a way. It's not the only aim that they had, but still. um and yeah, it's just, it was amazing. And then I had that kind of similar experience when they played with The Weeknd for the Grammys performance, for their Grammy performance. I did not see that live, I don't think. Or maybe I did, but only the Daft Punk portion. I don't really remember that. No, I think I do remember seeing it the day it happened. I just don't remember if it was like at that moment. It could have been. I think it might have been, but I don't think so. I know that's kind of contradictory. So, um, but just seeing them play Starboy and I Feel It Coming mashed up, and then just them doing their magic live again, it was amazing. Um, so yeah, that was just fantastic. And you know, then we go forward a few years, and then 2021 comes, no new announcements, and then in February they announced they're retiring. You know, and thankfully they're still best friends. They still share a studio together and spend a lot of time together. So it's not like they're not friends anymore or anything like that. So we might even see more work between Thomas and Guy-Man, just not under Daft Punk. Um, I mean, Thomas just released his opera album, which I did unbox, and I'm gonna be releasing that video before this. So yeah, hopefully Giman can do something too, and hopefully they can work on a new project together. But yeah, I was always sad, and one of my biggest complaints as well, going back with the collector's edition of Random Access Memories, is that even though they did include, like a longer version of the interview with Giorgio Moroder, it wasn't the full interview because apparently the full interview is like 3 hours long. But this is about like 25-30 minutes of him talking, probably a little bit less, probably like 15 to 20 minutes actually. That sounds a little bit more accurate. So that's pretty cool. I do wish though that collector's set had an additional disc, like a third disc, third vinyl record that included the 10-minute long Get Lucky remix. I wish it was there. And I wish it was part of that Horizon was in it as well. And here's the thing, the USBs for those were kind of messed up. Most of them were corrupted, but if you contacted them, they would send you the files, and I did that because mine was also corrupted. The files work, the USB sticks work now. You just had to reformat it, but the files on it would have been deleted. So thankfully they did send me that when I contacted the company. And honestly, I saw it today. Actually, it's still on my computer, which is pretty good. But I do remember adding it to the actual USB sticks themselves, and it's in there now. So the USB stick that comes with the album in full, it has Horizon and the Get Lucky remix. So I know I just said that like this is the first time that Horizon has been released to the public outside of Japan. That's kind of not true because I did forget that it was included on the collector's set, but that was a $300 set, and it was only on the USB stick. So it is true that it is the first time that it is on a CD and that it is on a vinyl record outside of Japan, because Japan didn't even have a vinyl record. They only had it on the CD. But it's not true that it's the first time it's been released outside of Japan, because again, it was on that set. So that's my complaint. I wish that even though it had it there on that set, that they could have put it on like a third disc. They could have put Horizon at the end of side 4, right after Contact, and then had just a 7-inch or a 10-inch even third vinyl record for the Get Lucky remix. I wouldn't have minded that. So I don't know, like Horizon always felt like a good closure to the album. I mean, Contact is a perfect closure, but then Horizon just feels like it's not scary, like, because in Contact it leaves like this mystery, like is this a scary event or what's going on? But then Horizon brings peace, and you're just like, no, it's not scary. And I just love the story that this album tells as well about life and spiritual world and things like that, and memories and the past, present, and future. It's just such a beautiful album in so many ways, and it's so poetic too. Real quick, a lot of people like Instant Crush is amazing. Within is one of the best songs like that they've ever made. Lose Yourself to Dance is so fun. Touch, I've talked a little bit about. Get Lucky, I talked about. Beyond is so good and so poetic. Motherboard, though, people need to like give more credit to Motherboard, because Motherboard is amazing. And I remember at the time when Fragments of Time was released, a lot of people were complaining about it. They were saying it doesn't live up to the hype of Face to Face, because the collaborator on this was in Face to Face, which is one of Daft Punk's best songs. But honestly, I thought it holds up so well next to Face, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful song. So I don't know why people complain so much about it. But yeah, so Doing It Right is a fun song. Give Life Back to Music is a fantastic opener. The Game of Love is a fantastic song in general too. Georgia by Moroder is amazing. Like all of these songs are just amazing in their own ways. And I'll talk a little bit about these in just 1 minute. So yeah, just to finish up with the collector's box set, they could have done that. And also, I noticed that my film strip for the Lose Yourself to Dance music video that's included on it, that frame or those frames, I can't find those when I'm watching the video. So if anyone has any additional frames for the Lose Yourself to Dance one that they don't see on the video, please let me know because I'm curious about that. I haven't really looked for answers about this. So as far as I know, there isn't. People don't really talk about this, or maybe people just never really notice. I don't know, but yeah, that my frames are not what is on the video. So I think the video could have been a little bit longer, and they just trimmed it out. So because it is so the actual, and that's why it was so limited because it's the actual like film strip because they filmed that music video, the Lose Yourself to Dance music video with actual film, and that is the the negatives, the film negatives that they had used. So that's why it was limited. So because they had to chop it up and to make the box sets. So yeah, I kind of wonder how long the original version of this video is, and honestly, for this 10th anniversary, I kind of wish that they would have released it. Another big complaint with the RAM journey. I always wish that they put like the Daft Punk logo here because all of their albums had Daft Punk. But we got the robot helmets. It's Daft Punk, so I can't complain about that. It's just very different stylized than their other ones. But at the same time, I love it so much. So I am not really complaining. I'm just like, would have been cool, but I love what we got, so I can't complain. But yeah, so and the last complaint really I have with the RAM era is honestly I wish that we got an actual music video for Get Lucky because we don't. All we have is a 40-minute second. A 40-minute second. All we have is a 40-second clip of them playing it, and then it just ends. So it's like a music video, sure, but it's not a full music video. It's just 40 seconds. So I wish we got more of that. Or maybe it's like a minute long or something. I don't know. But yeah, so those were like my complaints with that. And I wish, that they would have released a longer video even for the 10th anniversary, but can't complain too much. And yeah, that's what I had to say about that journey till now. And then when they announced this, with all of these new songs, I was, first of all, super excited about Horizon. And actually, real quick, before I go to this, there's something else I wanted to say about all of these songs. Just 1 second. So yeah, I can't really remember what I was gonna say, but other than the film strip thing, I guess the last thing I wanted to say about that collector's box set is that is so well produced. Like that is so high quality. I just love it so much. Maybe one day I'll do kind of like a retrospective unboxing of it. Right now it's just with my mom at my mom's house, so that's why it's not here at the moment. So when I get that back, I'll definitely unbox that, do a retrospective of it. I could have picked it up the other day though because I went to go visit her. I completely forgot about that, but it's fine. Yeah, no, I'll just pick it up next time I go see her, if I remember. But yeah, so that the production for that box set is amazing, and yeah, I just love this album so much. So when they announced all these new songs, I was so excited we were getting Horizon, but I was confused. Why is Horizon not after Contact? But then I saw Horizon Overture, and I'm like, wait, we got a new song? And then I saw the list, and I was super worried because I kept seeing like vocoder test, the writing of Fragments of Time, Touch Epilogue, and studio outtakes, things like that. And I'm just like, so is this just mostly gonna be them talking? Because that's gonna be a little bit disappointed. Like we all, you know, we don't really see them talking very often. Sorry. So it would be cool, but like I would, I was hoping that we would get new music. Cause like, studio outtakes, what do they mean by that? Is this gonna be like an alternate version or like what's going on here? So I was a little bit worried about that. And then the first of so then but even though I had those concerns, I was excited because for sure we were getting at least 3 new songs: Horizon Overture, Infinity Repeating, and Prime. So at least we were getting 3 new songs, and then whatever the rest was gonna be, I was like, all right, at least we're getting 3 new songs because it's 3 new Daft Punk songs after they've retired. Like, and it just makes me so happy because it's 3 new Daft Punk songs that no one has heard, other than like their group and their friends and the people that worked on it. But like the public, like that is amazing. I was just so happy and so excited. And I was really wondering what Horizon Overture was going to sound like. And I was really wondering what Prime and Infinity Repeating was going to sound like. When I Horizon Overture, I just pictured like this grand epicness, like of a sunrise or a sunset going up and towards space, and then leading into Horizon, and Horizon being on a different planet or a different plane, and you watching that sunset as well. So that's kind of what I always pictured Horizon to be. So I thought that Horizon Overture was going to be, the bringing you to that planet or that plane of existence, and you start seeing the sunset, and then it takes you to like this mountaintop where you're watching, where then Horizon starts. That's what I was hoping that would be, and it actually kind of honestly is like that. I just wish it kind of connects a little bit better to Horizon, because it kind of just Horizon Overture kind of just ends, and then like the guitar for Horizon starts. So I'm like, could have been better if they like connected just a little bit, but it's fine. And then I kept thinking, what's Infinity Repeating gonna sound like? And just that name, Infinity Repeating, I'm just like, I love the name for that. And it's from 2013, so like, were they gonna release it, because the album was done and recorded in like fully in 2012, so a lot of people were like, so was this gonna be a bonus song or something? Like, what was it, like just gonna be a random single? So we don't really know how the creation bit about this started, and we'll get to this. But when I heard the name Infinity Repeating, I pictured like a trying to do the infinity sign. There we go. I pictured like a silver, like infinity, like a thick infinity in space, and it's like silver and like wavy and metallic, and also like with like galaxies around it inside, very similar to the icon of one of the planets that um, Coldplay did for their Music of the Spheres album. So there's there's like a planet there that's literally like an infinity sign, if I remember correctly, and that's exactly what I was picturing, what Infinity Repeating would make me think about. So I was really curious about that, which turns out it wasn't that. Not I mean, kind of. There's parts of it that does make me think of that, but kind of makes me think more of like retro beach vibe, with like that metallic undertone to it that I was thinking of itself. But then we got Prime, and I'm like, please tell me that Prime is going to be something super electronic. Like a lot of people criticized Random Access Memories for not being super electronic. I didn't mind it. I thought it was a perfect amount of house, electro, whatever like other electronic genres you want to name. So I never had an issue with that, but I was really hoping there would be something like very, very like technical. How can I don't want to say techno, but just like very like computer driven. Um, so I was kind of hoping for that just because of the name Prime, and thankfully that is what we got, and I'll get back to that. And then I'm like, oh, we're just gonna see them, testing the vocoder and all that stuff. So I don't know. And then I was a little bit disappointed because we're getting touch epilogue. Because isn't can someone please correct me, because maybe I just haven't compared them enough, but isn't touch epilogue literally just a section of touch? Like there's nothing different between them except that touch epilogue is just shorter, right? Like it's like, is there more harmonics to it? Am I missing something? Am I just not comparing them right? Is it like a different version? Because it seems pretty similar. But a lot shorter and reordered a little bit, in the sense like how the choir goes, I guess. I don't know. Please, someone tell me how touch epilogue is different than touch regular. But yeah, so I was kind of worried about how this was going to be. And then this is one thing that I was super excited about with the Get Lucky early take, because we were going to get like a demo of Get Lucky, which, as I explained, I love this song a lot. But then my like second kind of, or somewhat third disappointment came, where the duration for all of these songs was released. Sorry, 1 second. So the duration of these songs was released, and I was so happy and I was so grateful that all these songs had such great and longer run times, except for the Get Lucky early take. That is only like 30 seconds or 40 seconds. How long is it? Hold on, it says it over here. It's literally 33 seconds. So I was just like, what do you mean that the most famous song on this album, well, I know that Instant Crush, I think, has passed that now, at least streaming wise. I could be wrong on that, but still, like, the biggest song on the album is only, like, the demo for it is only 33 seconds. What do you mean by that? That doesn't make sense. So, and I still feel like that. Honestly, just saying it right now, that is my biggest complaint about the 10th anniversary set. Sorry, 1 second. Because this did need to be longer than 33 seconds. So I'm very, very upset and disappointed on that. So that, and then the other complaint, which I'll get to in a minute. So then they released, as the first single from this new 9 songs, is The Writings of Fragment of Time. And I loved it. It was really cool. But I was worried that all of it was going to be like that. I would still love it because it was really cool to listen to. But I just, was kind of hoping that instead of like behind the scenes audio, we would get behind the scenes video and then like just alternate versions of these songs. So I was really upset, or concerned, not upset. I was concerned that that's the direction that they were going to go in, and that we were only going to get the 3 new songs. But again, at least we got 3 new songs. But then they released the Give Life Back to Music studio outtakes. And this is a totally different version than the first one. It's literally like an alternate version of it. And when I heard that, I'm like, okay, now I know the direction they're going in, and I'm happy with it. So it is all alternate versions. Really, the only one that isn't an alternate version out of like the alternate, like, other than the 3 brand new songs, it's really just The Writings of Fragments of Time. That's more of like a behind the scenes audio. And you can kind of say that like these are as well, but they're more of literally an alternate version. And I've already seen somebody do a joined version of the Give Life Back to Music studio outtake with the original version, and they made like a longer version, and it sounds so good. So hopefully someone does that to the Lose Yourself to Dance vocoder test, because again, that's another one I was worried about. But then no, it's like straight out another version of this song, and I'm like, why did they remove this section from it? This is so good. But hey, I mean, it's long, so it's basically a different version of that song. And I was so excited for that. And then Touch Up a Log, of course, it makes sense. I just, my complaint with Touch Up a Log that they went with is it kind of just ends. I wish that they would have put at least one more, if love is the answer, you're home, or just hold on just a little bit, like just more, because it's just like hold on, and it's just noise, and it just, and there isn't that build up, and it just like ends. So I just wish that, it had a little bit of a better ending. Get Lucky Early Take, again, I like it. It's definitely more pink red and bubbly. It makes me think of a lava lamp compared to the original Get Lucky, which is more sunset, like groovy, magic kind of vibe. Um, so yeah, I do wish that we got more of the Get Lucky Early Take for sure. Horizon Overdrive I talked about, which was amazing. Horizon itself is amazing. Then we got the last two songs. So since Random Access Memories released, so Julian Casablancas, who collaborated on Instant Crush, kept teasing a second song that he and Daft Punk worked on, and that it was super weird and like the weirdest song on the album, and that he would be trying to work with them to release it. So as soon as this track list was released, everyone's like, all right, which one's going to be the one that Julian is talking about? And of course, we had no confirmation at the time. We were just hoping. And thankfully, it is here. It is one of these two. And it is the one that I thought, because there was a poll on Reddit, and I selected Infinity Repeating, and it is this one. It is Infinity Repeating. So let's talk about that real quick. It is, very kind of similar to how I thought it was going to be based off of the name, but but it's not as like repetitive as I thought it would be, or as like, like going, changing, and then coming back and changing, and then coming back and changing. So it's very different. But it does have that tone of like endlessly going back and forth, but changing it at the same time. So that's what I mean. Like it has that undertone to it, but at the same time, it's not that 100%. So yeah, but when I first heard it, I felt like the vocals were like just badly recorded. But then when I heard it, but that's because I heard like a leaked version, I guess, and then people on Reddit were saying like the audio on this is messed up. Then I heard like the actual version that Daft Punk released, and the audio for it is so much better. I don't know what was up with that conversion that the leaker posted on Reddit for this song, but the conversion really messed up the vocals on it, I think. But yeah, hearing it like how it's supposed to be, like online, it sounds so much better. And I really enjoyed the song a lot. It's just, it's been taking me some getting used to. It does make me think of Motherboard a lot, which I love Motherboard. It's one of my favorite songs on the album. But yeah, I just wish that they, like the way that Julian kept hyping it up to be as, and I wouldn't even say hyping it up, more how he kept describing it, it is not accurate. I don't find it to be a weird song. I think it's, very calm, very beach, tranquil, very thoughtful as well. But I don't think it's as weird as Georgia Moroder, Georgia by Moroder or Touch. I don't think it's as weird as those. And I think he said that it was weird than Touch. He said it's the weirdest song on the album. So I don't know. It isn't really a weird song, and it kind of fits into it, but it kind of doesn't. But I love it. So I'm not complaining. I'm just saying the way that he kept describing it isn't 100% accurate, in my opinion. But I still love it. So I had to like keep listening to it a few times to really understand the direction that they were going into. And then I appreciated it so much more. Sorry, 1 second. And yeah, so yeah, it took me a while to like get used to it, because I was trying to think like, how is this super weird? Again, just because of how he kept describing it. That is why I don't really do listen to reviews and stuff like that. Because a lot of times people don't really describe things accurately. I don't think. Maybe for him, he thinks it's weird, but for me, it wasn't weird at all. And then we got Prime. And Prime is exactly how I wanted it to be. It is very like electric, like technological. That's a better word. It's very just technological. And it's straight out, and I love this. It's just straight out Tron Legacy meets Random Access Memories. Just hold on. So yeah, it's straight out Tron Legacy meets Random Access Memories. And since Daft Punk made the soundtrack for Tron Legacy, like, oh, it's just so good. I love Prime so much. Oh, it's just so good. I love it. And Infinity Repeating and Horizon Overture and all of these other alternate songs, they're just so good. My last real big complaint is that they still did not put the remix for Get Lucky. They should have included the remix for Get Lucky, and they should have included a studio recording, because I'm sure that they recorded that, like, you know, when they were playing the Grammys version of Get Lucky. I'm sure that they did a studio recording of that. And what I mean by studio recording is like they were, recording the audio professionally as they were playing it. So I really wish that they included that as well. And I'm not the only one saying that. I think that would have made this even more perfect than it already is, I guess. But yeah, I can at least understand why they might have not put, the Grammy version of Get Lucky, because of all of the sampling and all of the mashups and all of the rights that are related with those songs and the musicians related to those songs. So I can definitely understand why they wouldn't have done that, but I still wish they did. But sorry. But that doesn't really excuse them not including the Get Lucky remix or a longer version of the Get Lucky demo. I mean, yes, these only hold a certain amount of time, but they could have done like a 7-inch or 10-inch disc. Again, I just wish that it was included physically. But other than that, this album is amazing. It is one of my all-time favorite albums for sure. And I'm just so excited. Like, literally, you guys have no idea how excited I am to listen to this in full on record. So yeah, guys, I know I talked a very long time. For those of you that sticked around and, actually listened to me rambling and saying all of this, I thank you guys so much. I kind of wanted to share all of this, just to tell a story and for myself as well, in a way, A lot of these videos I do for myself, and I thank all of you guys for just watching, for those of you that do watch them, and for commenting, for those of you that do commenting and liking, and also for those of you that do subscribe as well. I know that my channel is a mixture of a lot of things, but it's all related to the art stuff that I love. So thank you guys for watching this and for sticking through me rambling and remembering so many things. Like, me and this album have been through a lot together. So just thank you, Daft Punk, for this beautiful album. Now, I'm not saying that this is my all-time favorite album, because I don't have just one. I have many all-time favorite albums, but this is one of my all-time favorite albums. Like, it's stuck in like number one with a bunch of other albums. But yeah, guys, let me know your memories, your history with this album, your history with Daft Punk. What do you guys think of the new tracks? I know I just did this ending, like 30 minutes ago, but I'm doing it again. Just thank you guys for watching it. Rate, comment, subscribe. Let me know your memories. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think in general of these songs. And yeah, what you guys would have wanted from this as well. So with all that said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe. I hope you guys have a good day and a good night as well. All right, bye, guys.